Okay, we're live. James speaking. Another live webcast, live stream Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Training Sites IO. Any questions that you have about starting, building your own education business, building out your personal platform, using AI stuff, creating courses. Here to answer some questions. The chat is open, so if you do want to obviously ask some questions, I'll be here to help you out. Going to make sure I close my other window. So there we go. I got some sound, so that's good. Yeah, so I'm going to answer any questions today. The focus I wanted to kind of put things on is about building your own platform, your own campus, that privately branded space where you can, collect your thoughts and your information and make it available to people, and also have your spot for being able to teach online and really share what it is that you know, love, and do, and you want to earn some money with. So that's kind of the space that we're in right now. I'm going to, I'll do my best again to ask or answer as many questions as I can. If you do have them, put them in the chat or in the description below. If you haven't been on any of these calls before, or you don't know what the heck's going on, let me just pull up a screen for you here. I'll open up my browser and I'll just show you where the stuff is in case you're looking for it after the fact. And let me see if we got a browser open. There we go. All open. And I'm just going to do that. So we get a double click and I'll open up the trainingsites.io site. Again, this is free to join. All of my stuff is in here. All of the courses, communities, um, platforms, prompts, everything is in here available for you. It's free to join. And again, I'm here as well during the day. If you have questions, just put them in and I'll do my best to answer them. And then also, if you are interested in getting some hands-on help from me to work directly with me every day, we have the live classes, and that's for our Campus Builders group, which is a paid section, of course, that you can join up with. So any questions? What do we got? Anyone come on today? We got any questions coming in? I'll just check and make sure we got some. Any comments? No comments yet? Okay. If we don't get any, that's fine. And if not, what I'll do in the short term is I'm going to go over a couple little things that are kind of happening in the whole space and why I think they're kind of important if you are thinking about creating a course or online course and you're kind of not sure where things are at or what you should be doing or where to focus on. And I think the first thing that I find really interesting is I just put out another video a couple minutes ago, and it was about traditional courses endangered. And there's two of them here actually. Speak once, get entire courses in 2025. And you're going to hear a term kind of going around, especially in the AI space, and it's called vibe or vibe coding. And really, what the software programmers are doing, the application builders are doing in the AI space, is all of a sudden you don't need to be a programmer to be able to create applications. And in fact, you can just go simply to the brand new version of Claude. Make sure my keyboard's live here. So you can go to Claude.ai. And I think you need a paid version right now, but you can go to Claude.ai and basically just go in and type and say, um, I want to build a tic-tac-toe game. And basically what it's going to do, it's just going to build the game for us. So we're in a position now where we can basically talk to or prompt an AI tool, and it's actually going to go build the game for us as an application. So this is happening in the software programming space, and there we go. And you can see what's happening here. Reset game. We've actually got a game, a live game that you can actually go and play. And basically all I did is I said, I want to build a tic-tac-toe game. So I think this is coming actually the course space, and that's why I think it's going to be difficult for a lot of people if you're thinking of how can I create a course or what can I do to actually earn some money. You know, is it just creating a course? And I don't think so, and that's why I basically put those two videos together just to kind of share my thoughts on this. And it's something to think about because it's happening very quickly and it's not going to slow down and it's not going to kind of go away. A lot of times people, especially have been around for a while, they have this idea of how do I create a course or what's in a course. If you haven't watched those videos, because I basically said in the second one, I basically said I want to build an app that does complete courses. And when you watch the video, you'll see it went through all of the pieces, start to finish, of building a course and an app to do that. So basically, the way it was set up was I want to build a course on how to play piano for beginners, and it created everything, and it will even create the text to create videos in any of the new text to video apps. So course business by itself, I think, is in some serious trouble in 2025 and in the future 2026. So that's why I wanted to talk about platforms a little bit and kind of put my 2 cents in on platforms, because I think what's going to happen is the platform is going to become more important than the content. And that ability to build out and attract your audience and have a space for it where you can actually teach live online, teach virtually. I think that's going to be the really cool opportunity for everyone kind of moving forward. So that's kind of neat. I think we got some questions. Hey, all right, questions. Hey, Alex, welcome. I don't Were you on before? I don't know. I have some experience with WordPress, and the Fluent Community program seems great. Uh, is using WooCommerce the only way to take payments for products and memberships for the community? The answer is absolutely not. You can use basically any of the WordPress plugins that you want. There's even one from Fluent. And it's funny that you mention this because in the community, I'll just show you. We'll pull up the people. WP Managed Ninja. I think I always sometimes I get it mistaken, but that's the particular group that does Fluent CRM, Fluent Community, all of those pieces. And one of the things that they also have is they have, I think it's at the bottom here. If not, I'll go to the other page. Yeah, so in the bottom here where my head is, let me use this one instead. They have one called Paymatic. And Paymatic is a payment tool for WordPress, but it also works with Fluent Community. The thing that this is kind of interesting is it does a really good job, a simple way of taking payments, but it's not a shopping cart. So if you are selling things like uh, physical product or downloadable product or multi coupon, multi kind of purchase options where you may have a 7-day trial, a one payment up front, and then 3 payments of a certain amount. If you're doing any complex ones, you have to make sure that you pick one that actually does that first. WooCommerce is good because obviously it's the big picture. You can do almost anything in it. The only problem is it doesn't necessarily look the greatest in some cases, and it can be kind of cumbersome if you're trying to just do a, click the direct to checkout kind of one. It's not the easiest way to do that. So they have one called Paymatic. Now the other thing, and I'll show this to you quickly, Alex, is that they're I don't know if you're a Fluent community member, they do have the WP Managed Ninja community, which is the actual their community that they use. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm in the VIP lounge here, and I think it is up here. But apparently, from one of the things that I saw in here, is they actually have Fluent Cart coming, or they were talking about it. So Fluent affiliates and Fluent Cart is going to be somewhere in one of the tools that was talked about here. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen in that space, but in terms of plugins, you can use any one that you want. The other thing that you can do if you're using, if you're using Easy Digital Downloads or SureCart or any of the other ones, the other thing just to remember is that there is a plugin called WP Fusion, which is the best integration tool in the WordPress space. But what it allows you to do is you can hook anything that's happening in Fluent CRM, Fluent Community, Fluent Forms. You can connect that directly to any of the other WordPress apps. So no matter what cart you can use the tagging system in Fluent CRM and Fluent Community, the way that those are tied together, or use just WP Fusion to hide and protect pieces of content based on tags. So no, you don't have to use Fluent Community. You can use any one that you want that works with WordPress, guaranteed if you have WP Fusion. And then the big picture here is just make sure that you've picked the cart, especially the subscription model and the cart that you have that you're going to be using in the long term. And I'll give you an example of why this is important. One of the things that happens when you're playing around with all of these subscriptions is that if you get, for example, let's say you have WooCommerce and you start with that and you buy the subscription plugin, which is very expensive yearly. I think it's $279 to add subscriptions in WooCommerce. That particular one is once you get recurring payments set up, if you go and say, oh, I really don't like that plugin anymore, I want to use another shopping cart, you either have to transfer all of those subscriptions, import them some way, and get them into the new one to have those subscriptions continue. Because subscriptions in WooCommerce are handled internally. So it's actually WooCommerce that is charging to Stripe. It's not Stripe doing the charge and then reporting back to the shopping cart. It's the opposite way around. So you really kind of have to think through what you want to do with subscriptions, what you want to do other than subscriptions and membership sites, if there's other products or services that you're going to sell, and how flexible or inflexible you're okay with having the shopping cart be. And even if it's being used on other sites, one of the problems that a lot of people run into is they may have one site for their community, one site for another product or service. And it's like, where are you going to have the shopping cart, or what shopping cart? Are you going to have two shopping carts or one shopping cart? So just make sure you think that all through before you jump. But yeah, you definitely, you aren't limited to WooCommerce. It's just kind of the gorilla in the room. It's like everyone kind of falls with that and starts with that. So hopefully that helps. Um, yeah, and payments to explore. If as far as I know, I don't know any of the rules for the EU, for example. I think there's some that are a little bit different on what payment gateways and things. I know in North America and the UK and Australia, places like that, I think, by default, you use Stripe and PayPal are kind of the two go-tos. Personally, I just use Stripe. That's the only one that I use is Stripe. And that's a free account is there. And I think they take 2.4 or 2.9% of the payment. One of the things that would be my personal fave, if I knew how to do it elegantly, at this point I don't, is I'm technically a big fan of actually just using Stripe as the cart. And one of the things, and I haven't seen the plugins, but I know I've seen someone do it, is like if you go to the buy now, it actually opens up a Stripe window. You make your payment in Stripe, and then Stripe goes and activates something on your WordPress site. So it's kind of bypassing the traditional cart and just using the interface to Stripe to do, either subscriptions or payments, that kind of thing. That would be my first choice if I could figure out how to do it properly. That would be a lot easier, because anytime you're getting into additional plugins and stuff to do payments, there's always something that happens or doesn't happen. Then I was just thinking about that when we're talking about the other thing that happens with any of these is that if you have people that come on a regular basis to the site and they're trying to purchase something, and you have a lost shopping cart, for example, uh, you have to, if that's a big problem, if you have people that are coming, filling out the checkout cart but not completing the sale, Fluent CRM and a lot of the other tools have plugins or additions or settings that allow you to make sure that abandon cart automation series. If you find that you're running into that, you better make sure that the cart and the setup that you have allows you to take care of those abandoned cart situations. So that's kind of one that I run into on a regular basis, and just kind of make sure that you figure out what it is that you need to do, when you need to do it, and how you need it to be done. So hopefully that helps. If there's any other questions about the campus stuff, please put them in the chat there. And again, I'll do my best to answer them. Yeah, and all of these sessions, I'm basically here by myself. I don't have a moderator or something helping me with the chat. And if there are chats that come in, I try and get it. I'm looking on another monitor to see what it is. They have top chats and live chats, and sometimes I miss them. So I apologize if someone has put one in. Just keep on posting in there, and I'll keep my eye on it as best I can. So, any questions? Put them in the chat. Anything about AI tools? Obviously, there's a lot of really cool stuff happening there. And if you want to, let me know. I will go over some of the cool stuff that I did in other videos, but other things that are kind of happening. If you're interested in creating courses and being able to offload all of that technical work of what happens in a traditional course creation. So, time flies with these things, man. I've done the video that I did this morning was, I think, 32 minutes, and when I do these, it's kind of fun because I generally don't have any notes, just a couple talking points. But that was one of the ones. It wasn't a structured one. It was kind of just me talking, and it's a really interesting kind of space for all of us if you're into creating online courses and or course material and building education business, because stuff is changing so quickly. You got to keep up on it or you're going to be left behind. And I'm kind of just I'm scared but excited about all of this stuff that's happening, and we're going to see what happens. Why I don't know why I get the volume here. Let me try that. So Big Mac or Big Mick, you're having trouble with the volume. Let me know if anyone else is. I will turn it up and see if I can get it a little bit higher. I do have it. It's pretty high. Let me see if I can. Can I do it any higher? Let me know if that's better. I just boosted it again. Sometimes the microphone maybe gets in the wrong spot. Let me see if I do that. My mic's there. It's pointing to me. We should be able to see it. Okay, so hopefully that will help. Um, so what is it? Boost your mic seems a little lower today. Okay, hopefully that helps. Let me know if it's still low. I'll try and put it a little lower. I'll even talk a little bit higher if that helps. Yeah, so WP Fusion is kind of a cool tool. It's one that I use on all of my sites that I have, and it's a way to easily integrate all sorts of tools with WordPress if you're not familiar with it. And I do have an affiliate link if you want to. It's trainingsites.io/go/WP Fusion. I actually use a tool called Better Links, which is it's a linking software that allows me to basically have my own personalized links, and I can direct wherever I want. So instead of me, saying wpfusion.com/affiliate number ID, I can just say trainingsites.io/go WP Fusion, and it automatically goes to my affiliate link. So if you do have a lot of links or other referral links and stuff, using a tool like Better Links or Thirsty Affiliates is another one to manage those links is a pretty cool idea. So, okay. Alex, perfect. You're getting the good volume. Excellent. Okay. Any more questions? Other questions? Let me know. What do we got there? I can cover. Just give me a hint on what you want covered or what you want talked about, and I'll go from there. Anything jumping out at you? Problems, questions? You want to see anything about courses? There we go. I will talk about. Let me just. The one thing I will. I'm gonna go. The one. I'll show you the other ones. First of all, I'm gonna show you the WP Fusion just at the bottom, just so that you see what's available there. There we go. Affiliates. Where's my integrations? There we go. So these are just an example of some of the plugin ones that are available here with WP Fusion. Like these are just membership ones. So all sorts of membership platforms are here. Again, works intelligently with all of them. Here's all the shopping carts and e-commerce stuff. And this is wpfusion.com documentation integrations. It's all here. Learning management systems, it works with all of them. And even if they're not here, it uses tags. So if you want to basically have an open WordPress site, you can technically just use WP Fusion and tags to say, hey, this page, this category, this area, you need this tag to be able to go and see it. If you don't, here's the form to go fill it out as an example. But there's all sorts of stuff here, and again, it's a really, really cool platform for anyone that's doing anything to do with people logging in and accessing stuff or not accessing stuff. So there we go. Claude 3.7, can you go a little bit deeper on this? Yeah, absolutely, I can do that. Here's something else. I'm just going to share this with you because I haven't had a chance to do it today. But what did come up for me personally is, let me just open this up for a second. I'm in Canada, by the way, and I have a plus version of ChatGPT. But I was looking at it today, this morning, and if you look down in the bottom of the screen, hope you can see that. Let me see if I can make it any bigger. Let's see if I can get that to, oh, I can't make that bigger on the screen. It has deep research. So this is the one that you may have seen before. It is available, I guess, to Plus members, at least here for me in Canada. I'm not the $200 a month one. I'm the one that's $20 a month, for example. On this one, the deep research is available. And this is the one that's really exciting if you have to get a report or you need to basically get all the information you could probably ever want about a particular subject or topic and get the research done for you. So go and check your setup. It should be available now. I think, I hope it is in Europe, but at least in North America and I think the UK, Australia, to Plus members, I think it's available now, which is kind of neat. Now, Claude 3.7. This one, this one is really, really cool for a number of reasons. So I this is 3.7 here. I just opened up. This was another chat I was doing earlier with another client. And I'm just going to show you some of the neat things with it. First of all, if you aren't sure that you have it, if you look down in the bottom here, hopefully you can see my mouse, you have Claude 3.7 Sonnet. They have the basic version, which is there. They have a 3.5, which I think was the other one was 3.5 Sonnet. I'm not sure the difference between the Haiku and the Sonnet with the same number. But they also have here extended. So this one is 3.7 Sonnet and then extended. And what this one does is it is a little more of a thinking model than just the regular one. And it takes a little bit longer, does a little bit more work beforehand. So if you're not sure that you have it, just make sure that you pick the Sonnet model, which is now the default. And the thing that I absolutely love with this is that it does a ton of work for you and even creates a lot of graphics and applications for stuff that you didn't necessarily ask. Like, for example, I had that one that I think I was doing here. Just pull up the other one where it was. Might have been this one. That was the tic-tac-toe game. But some of the things that's happening is it's coming up and it's actually creating artifacts or information in, I don't know if I have one that's got it here. Just looking for one of the projects that I had. So let's do this one. So, well, here's an example of one. What I did on this one is I was kind of figuring out what is the best way to organize some content. And I basically said, hey, what's the best way to do it? And I said, create an artifact. And technically what it did is, I'll just go and look at this and open it up. It basically built an interface to go and take a look at it as something that you can kind of do right off the bat. So I'll just pull this one up so that you can see it and see what happened with it. So this one is about how to create a knowledge base in your campus or a place. And basically they have the company had a multi-service one. I was just basically asking, what's the best way to organize this? And it built an interface for me on a way to organize this if you're doing a service-based business. So tabs for the service business, FAQs, quick links, resources, and downloads. It created this. I didn't even ask for it. I didn't describe it. I didn't type anything in. I just said create an artifact based on your suggestions. This is what came up. So Claude 3.7 has been doing this when I've been playing around with it and I asked for an artifact. artifact. It's actually creating applications. And this is, something that, again, that I think is going to change the way that we create courses, because it's not just regurgitating some text. It's like, hey, show me how this would work in real life. Create an example that I can use. And not only, if you think about it, if you're doing a course or some kind of course, is it you that does this and creates the prompt? Or if someone else has Claude AI and they've got 3.7, why don't they just go in and type it in? Like, what's the difference between you providing only written and video content and someone else going and figuring it out for themselves? And I think that's why, if you're thinking about course businesses and teaching online, the business part of it is going to be a little more about you being involved with people and actually interacting and help people implement stuff, as opposed to just putting a lot of content in what was traditionally called a course. So that's kind of interesting there. And if you do want, if you don't have, you should have this already. But if you don't, let me just get it to the regular size here. Um, it's just the one thing that I do like about Claude is that it does a much better job on coming across as something that wasn't AI generated. And it does a really good job. For example, I use it for emails, for course descriptions, for titles and thumbnails, for any of that kind of work that is not overly technical or doesn't have to be overly structural. That when you're explaining something, I find that it works really, really well. And I guess the part that the coders love is it's excellent at coding, and it's now like spitting out apps. Um, can you imagine, like, if you're a code or a software developer and you used to had to manually know programming languages and all that thing? So you're in a point now where there's this thing called vibe coding. If you do a search on vibe coding, basically they're saying that English is the new programming language. You talk to it, you're going to get a piece of software out. An example, was the one I just did with the TikTok game. Hey, I want a game. People have been doing Minecraft. They've been doing all sorts of stuff and saying, like, give me the Minecraft or clone. I saw someone that did clone Twitter. Took about 30 minutes to clone Twitter. They don't know how to program. They don't know any of that, but I had a working copy of Twitter after 30 minutes. So, my kind of gist on this is we're going to see a situation where you're going to be able to say, I want a course on playing piano for beginners, or I want a course on how to be a better public speaker. And this stuff is going to get absolutely spit out for you easily and quickly. And that's what I covered in those couple videos that I was doing yesterday and today. This one right here, if you do get a chance to go through this one, it's here on the campus, but it's also on YouTube. This one, I actually go through the chat that I had with Claude, basically building out the application with 3.7 and going through it live when I was doing it. And I will, do you want me to show that one? Just let me know if you want me to take a look at that particular one. Um, yeah, I will show it here. It's in the video in detail, but I will show it just so that you can see, how scary good this is doing it. Let me just pull it up here again. Let me go back to projects, building an AI powered. That's not the one. Go to projects again. Okay, so this is a project that I started kind of working with. And this is the one that I went through in that video, but I just want to show you something at the start when I first started out. So I basically said, in the big picture, I want to just give you a topic for a course, and then all of the heavy detailed work would be done by you. So this is basically what I asked Claude to get started. As I said, hey, I want to give you an idea for a topic, and what I want you to do is create it. And it took 5 seconds to put it together. Okay, now I understand. Users looking for a comprehensive AI solution using me, Claude, to handle all the detailed work of creating an entire online course based on just providing a topic. So this is the stuff that it considered doing it. And it knew that we're using WordPress, and I had mentioned LearnDash before. And it's definitely something I can help you with given the preferences. There it is. And basically what it did is, here's the approach. So I provide a course topic. something like Instagram marketing for small business, and then Claude generates a comprehensive course outline with modules and lessons, learning objectives for each section, detailed lesson content and scripts for the videos, quiz questions and assignment ideas, slide content suggestions, student worksheets and resources, marketing copy for the sales page, email sequences for student engagement. You review, customize, and record. You want to test it out? Let's do it. The other thing I started playing around with here is I was saying, you know what? I don't want to create the videos. I've been looking at all of these text to video apps that are available. I want you to write the text descriptions to create the videos. So, I see a point this year, 2025, beginning of 2026, where we'll be able to do this and spit out a course. Will the videos be perfect? Well, depending on what kind of course you're producing, but this is something, the barrier to entry here is going to be a lot lower. So I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm just saying, hey, we got to think about it because it's something that's coming. And again, it's not going to go away. And Claude, one of the parts that I had in the chat here, just kind of going through with it. And I think at the end, it was basically saying, the way that you have this set up, the technical part of creating this is not an issue. So this is something that can be created today, the stuff that I just put out. And the last part at the end, again, was just the one part was there's a little app called Whisper that the developers use. And Whisper AI is a way to talk to the AI tool, and it will actually transcribe verbally what's going on and give it. So this is a one where you're having a conversation with AI and actually having a course created, clarified, adjusted, everything without you having to type a prompt in, without you having to try and describe something textually. It's live on the fly, course creation, adaptation, fixing, changing, all done for you, I guess, basically by an AI tool. And I think the part that's interesting, if you are creating courses, it's your creativity on what you want created becomes the important part, not the technical ability on how you're going to put all of this stuff together to get it working. So um, yeah, let me know. Is there any more questions about that? How scared is everyone? Give me a thumbs up if you're scared or a little bit nervous on that. Um, this is here now. Like this is here, and the only limit that I can see in the short term is the text to video part. I did a video earlier this week about one called Free Pick, and I'll show that one just so that we have it. But Free Pick allows you to. This is one that I did. Make sure I'm logged in here. I'll go to mine. My projects. Here we go. This was the one where I paid $10 for the month as an example. But on this one, basically, I gave it some text, and it basically this was text. It was just about creating something for a public speaking course on the difference between proper use of arm gestures and where the placements were. And I basically gave it a paragraph, and it came up with this video that was created. Now, the thing is, this video is limited to 5 seconds right now, which is the limitation, right? And I couldn't figure out necessarily why it was 5 seconds, but the other thing that I did find out that 5 seconds of video right now costs Google, I think like it's something like 2.5 cents or something per second. So I think the reason they have it at 5 seconds is because the computing power that's needed to create the video is very expensive right now, but that price isn't going to go up. It's going to come down. And as it comes down, 5 seconds is not going to be the limit. It's going to be 20 seconds, 25 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. And you can see that we're getting to the point where we're able to build 1 and 2 minute videos, again, just from a text prompt. And Claude gave me the text prompts to use to create these videos based on the lessons that it created. So pretty cool stuff. I did another couple other ones. I did one on makeup. So for example, this one was done on makeup, and that's a pretty realistic person, and that was from 2 paragraphs of text. I did another one yesterday talking about presentation skills again, and you can see the person where I'm moving a mouse Like that's a pretty realistic person. And that wasn't even Google VO. That was a one that's even less powerful. So this is pretty wild stuff. It's happening, it's coming, it's exciting, and you got to have your, your game face on and figure out what is it that I need to teach people, what is the transformation I want to provide, and how does my experience allow me to actually put that together and share it. And that's something you can do when you're talking to Claude and the other tools. Is just say, hey, put this story in, or here's a situation that I ran into. Apply that to this particular lesson. So you can make it personal, you can make it authentic, but the heavy lifting's being done. So I think that's a pretty cool thing that we're going to see moving forward. Um, Claude, hopefully that helps. Let me know if there's other questions specifically about Claude, if you want to know about artifacts and projects. I'm really excited about artifacts, by the way, and I think they have spaces, they're called. Um, I think spaces are called in ChatGPT. I can't remember, but that one, same idea where you can have a separate live space. I can't remember the name, but you edit the space, and it will actually edit the code or whatever you're working on there. So you can type on it and actually have live edits in real time on it. So, think of doing the same thing where you have a script and you cut and paste or remove stuff or add words. It actually makes that live, the changes that you're making on the fly with text, which is really kind of neat. Okay, let me know if there's any more questions, anything having to do with any of the AI tools, stuff I've been running into, stuff I haven't been running into. Um, I will show you one other thing with Claude, and I just remembered it. And that is when you are working with Claude, remember that when you create artifacts, and again, I'll show you the artifacts. The artifacts are these things that kind of show up on the right-hand side here. That's one here. I think I have one in this part of the project. There we go. No, that one doesn't have one. But the artifacts you can start adding. I think there's all here. Hopefully I can show all of them. On this one here, just trying to remember where those ones are. No, sometimes they have them here, but these artifacts, one of the things you can do is you can publish them. And when you publish them, you can make them public and have them available as something you can give to clients or just keep organized or even give as part of the course materials, right? So in the artifacts, when you publish it, you'll also see at the bottom, it has this remix artifact. And let me just pull up this one a little better. Oh, my head's there. Not that one. We'll go back to this one. But in the bottom right, it says remix artifact. So even if you have one that you look at and you go, that's maybe not what I was looking for, you can click remix artifact and actually have a little more of a conversation to build on or add on what it is that actually was done. And even if someone else sends you an artifact, you can rebuild it based on your situation or the way that you're set up. So again, these are some neat team building ones or ones that you can work with clients if you're creating course content with clients. Something kind of cool and fun to play with. Okay. What else we got? Any other questions? Any other things that are going on? Want to talk about? Let me know. Again, let me just see if we got anyone here. We got 2 people on only. Okay. If there's no more questions, I'll probably bring it in for a landing. 40 minutes on this. I get going pretty quickly, but hey, there we go. No more questions. We'll finish it up. If you haven't already, please make sure to go to trainingsites.io/join. Got all of my content there, everything that you need to start building, grow an education business, and I'm there to answer more questions for you. So take care. Going once, going twice, going 3 times for questions. Nothing else. That'll, oh, 6 people now. So I'll stay on for a minute and see if anyone does have some more questions. Put some questions in the chat if you have them. If I don't get any, the replay will be available here and also at trainingsites.io/join, so you can go in and get it. Again, any other questions? We got a couple people on, couple people not. I'll wait one more second. And just, while I'm while I'm saying this, I don't want to bum everyone out and say things are awful. it's still a great opportunity, but just remember what you're getting into. It's teaching people stuff. It's educating people. It's not just here's my video, here's my content anymore, because anyone can do that. So we're going to have to really, make sure that we think through what it is we're teaching people, what people want, and how that really works out. And for me personally, what I'm doing, and it's something that I'm learning as we go with this, is that I understand that I got to do more live courses or live campus stuff. So, right now, if I'm playing around here and I'm looking at this and I'm just going, okay, what do I have here? I got tutorials, lots of videos, things to look at. But the classes, I'm going to start doing the classes every week where there's actual live training for people. So that's something I have to do personally because people are looking for what's personal, what is my situation, how does it apply? And I want a little more help getting this stuff implemented. And I think that's the exciting part. If you are interested in education business, if it's a course business, again, you're not going to get rich overnight. You're going to have to spend money to earn some money. And it's going to be, I think, a bit of a slog, especially moving forward. So I think that's it. Any more questions? One last time, let me know, and we'll finish up with that. I did the video this morning. If you haven't seen it on YouTube, go to that one. It is the one that was actually in the community here, and it's all about Claude 3.7 and this thing called Vibe Coding, and I think it's going to be called Vibe Courses. Will be the one that's actually going to, that's what I'm going to call it anyway. We'll see if we can get some traction with that. But the answer to this problem is a personal platform. So I'll do some more videos on that kind of moving forward, and hopefully that will help anyone. One last chance. Questions in the chat, let me know. Going once, going twice, going three times. Every time I go to say this, there's a couple more people that come on. So again, let me know if there's questions about this. Put them in the chat. I love to answer them. If I don't get any questions, I'll pack it in. There's still some more people on, so give me some questions. This is the hard part, kind of figuring out what to cover, what not to cover. I mean these to be kind of open, live ones, not something that's planned. So I kind of just get talking with it, and we go from there. So I think that'll be it then. Thanks for joining. Again, go to trainingsites.io/join. I'll put the replay here as well as some other resources. Everything's available here, and the classes will be a little more frequently for the paid members. If you want to go and upgrade, you can certainly do that at trainingsites.io/pass, and I'll put the link for this. But this is an easy way to upgrade your account and get access to all of the live classes that I do, other than this one on Wednesday, which is always free for everyone. Okay. Now, what should I do? Here's a question. What should I do when this happens? I say I'm just about finished. We've been going 43 minutes. Every time I say I'm going to end, 2 or 3 more people come on to the live stream. So I don't know what I should do. Either stay on these or not stay on them. So again, last call for questions. Anything happening there? Thanks for the reply. Just arrived. Okay, hang on. What else we got there? Sorry, very late. There's a couple more that showed up. This is one of the ones too that me kind of, so we got Glenn that's there. Let me just see what we got. Sorry it was late, Glenn. Thanks for replay, just Raphael. Do you guys have any questions before I end up here? We got a couple minutes ago. If you do have a couple questions, obviously I'll answer them for you. Actually, I will stay on because I got lots that I can say as all of this happens. Some questions, one of the questions that I get asked, and one of the ones that I'm not struggling with, but I'm thinking about, and this one is just kind of off the, not the top of my head, but I think it's something that is going to be more important, is that if all of these AI tools are creating applications, I'm just wondering how important having a website will be in the future. So, you know, a traditional WordPress site or software as a service or go high level or those pieces, um, I'm not really sure what's going to happen in that space. The thing is, you're still going to have to do marketing. You're still have email is still like the email is the key to any kind of business success. It has been, and I think it will continue to be so. You know, some kind of calendaring, uh, a space for people to be in, but I don't know what that space is generally at this point. You know, if I just look at the one that I talked about earlier, having, you know, building a course from an app when it's one of the choices, why do I need a WordPress site or software as a service if my course is an app? And all I need to say is, look, hey, you're creating the email marketing content and the social media for it. Um, Post it to social media. And here, I want an autoresponder series that goes out for anyone that goes to visit the landing page for the site. Like, do you need a website for that? Or do you just get the AI tool to create an application for it? So, um, yeah, so that's kind of the thing. So Raphael says, do you have a mailing list in which to be included a newsletter? Another great question. One of the things that I do personally and the way that I've set up my personally branded campus is to, and I'll open up a YouTube here. Hopefully the sound won't come out right away, but if it does, there we go. I'm just going to pull up my channel here. There we go. So one of the things that I do for every YouTube video, I only market on YouTube. This is my business model in a second. So I only market on YouTube, and every video that's here, as an example, um, when I open it, you'll see there's a couple things that happen. The first thing is that in the top line, I always have trainingsites.io/join. Every video that I do has that. And the reason I put it there is because that join thing shows up above the fold with the description of the video. So even if someone doesn't click on the video, that join the community is there and it shows up. So that's the first thing that I have set up. The second thing is the second that people join my campus, my privately branded platform, they are automatically on my newsletter. So I don't have to ask them to subscribe. They're automatically on the newsletter. So they're part of my membership, my platform. They're on the newsletter. I have their account details. They're actually added as an affiliate as well. So if you join the community, which I'm offering for free, basically I have your email address and the start of all of your details. So I can send emails to you. I can do updates. Again, all from my platform, and I haven't asked for you to be part of a newsletter. You can always unsubscribe. I'm not locking you into it, but that part is taken care of for me. As far as sending stuff, the part that I use is I use Fluent CRM, and again, I'll put the links to those below. But Fluent CRM allows you to send email with Amazon and SendGrid. There's a whole bunch of them. But Amazon, the Amazon Simple Email Service, which costs something like cost me like $25 or $20 to send, you know, 200,000 or 250,000 emails. I have that set up, and it's not an issue. It's delivered by Amazon. It comes from my trainingsites.io email domain. The delivery rate is high, and it's a real simple system that doesn't cost a lot of money. And it's all in one place. It's all on my one platform. You could use ActiveCampaign. We have a white label reseller account at ActiveCampaign. I still have lots of customers using that one. If you want to do like a third-party service, it can be hooked up and connected with it. And because it's WordPress, if you have any kind of newsletter system, it's automatically done there. One of the questions Glenn had was, so hopefully that helps. Spoken in the past for you live, to use StreamYard or something else? I've been using StreamYard, but it's getting expensive. Yeah, so here's the one that I use. Sorry, I didn't have the screen on. Hopefully, just let me show you this quickly. On the screen, if you look where my mouse is moving, this one says the join the community. That's the part I was talking about. It's above the fold. And every video that I do, it's the first thing that's there. So I try and get people to click on it. They automatically get added to the community. So here's the one that I use for the live streams. I'm on a Mac personally, so the Macs, basically do this part for me, and I use Ecamm. It's a piece of software, and what it allows me to do is do live streams. And when I do a live stream, it automatically, I've got mine set up to go to LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So similar to StreamYard, I have, I basically go live and it does a live stream there. I also have the recording of it. So I can choose to do a recording by itself or a recording and a live stream. And the way that I recommend that anyone who's serious about creating video content and they're doing it manually is they start learning how to do something called live editing. And live editing in StreamYard, for example, is when you have the different interfaces, right? When you're in StreamYard, you could have like yourself and a screen capture. You can have yourself only. You can have the screen with you as a, in a box or a bubble or circle on the screen. You can have two guests. Think of those as scenes, right? And you can switch back and forth between the scenes as is appropriate for the discussion. That is a form of live editing. Ecamm allows you to create scenes, but you can create them any way that you want. So for example, I've got one here where it's me on the side, the screen capture is in one place. I have one where it's me, and then also in the bottom corner, and then the screen there. You'll also notice on this one that there's text across the bottom, right? A lower third, that's part of a scene. I have one, where it's zoomed in, one that's not zoomed in. I've got one where it's the chat. I've also got one that shows my iPhone screen. I have one that is the left monitor. I have one that is the right monitor. So you basically get those scenes set up, and those are live edits. And, for me, I try and get a little bit practiced with this, get comfortable with it, create the scenes that I want. And then I just do live streams. And sometimes they're live like this. Other times I do a live stream, but I just record it. And if you're, if you do it that way, just spend a day doing 10, 15 of them and record them and say, hey, this works, this doesn't work, or I like this, or I don't like this, or I didn't look into the camera enough, or, my lighting was off and I'm not happy with it, or I need to make this look this way, but just spend a day doing it and get comfortable with it. Because I really think, people who are in this space of teaching and educating and creating video content for educational purposes, you're going to see a lot more of this ad hoc, live, personal TV station approach. And it's funny that you mentioned that. Funny that kind of mentioned that, because there are a number of people that I subscribe to. And let me just see. This is one. Let me just see if I can find, because something came out this morning from someone that I subscribe to. Might be able to see a couple of the names here that I play around with, some of the people I subscribe to. Let me just see if I can find it in history. But it was done this morning. There it is right here. So this, let me just open this one up here. This is a gentleman. He's from Australia, and I think his name is Aurelis Jin. He's got 500,000 subscribers, and he's done some really great videos. I've been following him for a long, long time. And all of the videos that he's been creating for the last X number of years, again, he's got 500,000 subscribers. I really like the way he presents stuff. He does a lot of analysis of kind of, how to use tools and AI tools. The one thing that he did, and this is what I'm seeing from a lot of the top creators, is what he's doing now. This is the first time that he's done it. He's basically doing what I'm doing right now, which is talking into the camera and being live and not structured, edited video. So I think you're going to see a lot more of this whole live approach and ad hoc conversational videos, as opposed to here's an overly produced video. And the same thing applies, I think, for courses. If you're at an instructor, you're at a live event, they're not reading from a script during a live event. They may have a slide deck or something that they're talking to, pardon me, but it's them being an instructor or a teacher. And the thing is, when you go and do that, that means that you, as the authority or the educator in that particular space. You can make mistakes, you can take it the way you want. And in this case, if there's questions, you can answer them. So getting good at live and being comfortable hearing yourself. And if you haven't had a chance to go see this, listen to it, because the thing that struck me when he was talking about this particular piece was he wasn't comfortable doing this video. He said he was very uncomfortable. And here's someone with 500,000 subscribers that's not comfortable hearing his own voice and seeing himself on camera when he's just talking to the camera. So um, that's just something to practice with. And I'll do this last question. This one is from Glenn. Are you using podcast with a guest as part of your content? Yes and no. Traditional podcasting I don't do anymore. I used a service called Castos before, and I think I might still have something on some of the places like Spotify and things like that, where the channel is there. And I initially started off podcasting like 20 years ago when I was doing the 52 Secrets my mom never told me about internet marketing. It started off as an audio podcast. I don't do it anymore, and I don't do anything with guests yet. So that's the other thing that I'm going to start doing is I will be starting to bring some guests in, and the Ecamm Live software is perfect for that. And in fact, that's what it was actually designed to do. If you're not interested in Ecamm or you're not sure about it, there is a Windows equivalent, because Ecamm is only for Mac. There is one called OBS, which is open source, and that's one that you install on your machine and will do live streams as well and does basically the same thing. So if StreamYard's getting expensive, you want a little more flexibility, you're on a Mac, go look at Ecamm. And then the one is OBS, and I think it's open broadcast software, open broadcast system. But just look for OBS and do a search, you'll find it. The other one, there's Riverside as well, which is another one I think is less expensive than StreamYard. And then there's another one. I think this one is there's one called Restream. I think it's restream.io. Yeah, there it is. Restream.io is kind of an interesting thing, because what that does is it allows you to take a recorded video and then broadcast it as live to the other ones. So that one on pricing, I don't know how much the pricing is, that one. Yeah, multi-stream to 3 channels, no watermark, unlimited cloud recordings. And that's $16 a month is the base one. So don't know if there's a limit on those particular ones. 6 hours recorded stream, 10 hours recorded stream. So not sure how much is available in that, but that's just an example of some of the other tools that are available. Okay. So any other questions there? Anything else jump up? Stuff that you want to see? There we go. Okay, now I got to bring it in for landing. So again, if you haven't already, please make sure and go to the trainingsites.io site. And in that, if you have questions, just make sure that on the left-hand side, what you can do is here, there's say hello. If you haven't said hello already, there's also an orientation and tour if you haven't seen it. But we've got the do-it-yourself study halls. I got a general discussion place, tools and resources. If you have questions, just put them in here. I'm here all day, and I'll do my best to answer. And if you run into something that you like, that you think is valuable, put it in there. And then we can chat about that as well. Wins and celebrations. Let me know when you publish stuff. Let everyone know you got a course done. Let me know when you're adding stuff to your channel and or you've created new courses. And then I'll do my best to put any events and things that are happening to put those ones in. So hope you enjoyed this. Please, the name of the Australian gentleman. Let me just pull that one up here. Let's see his channel. It's his channel name. I don't know if I can I pull this one out? Yeah. So it's his spelling, AURELIUSTJIN. And again, so he just did this one today, which is the one that just came up, was Time for Change. So he's got some good videos. A lot of it are he spent a lot of time on Canva, actually, was what the area was, and that's how I kind of got into it. But, very, very good material, and I quite like his stuff. So yeah, definitely go check it out. But watch that one about the change, because that's the one I think, keep your you're going to see a lot more people doing this, especially in this whole teaching slash course one. Okay. Hopefully that helps. We're all good there. One last prompt for questions. Anyone got some questions? Again, let me know. And I'll, if not, I'll bring that one in for landing on these ones. And if you have any feedback, like put it in the comments if you want stuff covered. I'd rather you put it in trainingsites.io, but if there are things that you just jump out at you and you want to put it into the comments, put it there, and I always take a look at those as well. So, okay, take care, everyone. Expect the best. We'll be back tomorrow with another great. What are we going to do? I got to do this here. Got to end it. I got a phone call. We'll talk soon.